Hey everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'm looking out my window. We're getting some much needed rain today, and we might get a good bit of it over the next few days. There's a little tropical system that was actually moving down from Tennessee, supposed to get in the Gulf, and hopefully we're going to get a lot of rain out of it. It's early of the season. It's not going to turn, and I think it's going west. It's not going to turn into any real storm, but we can most certainly use this rain, so I'll take every inch of it we can get. Today I want to talk about cravings on a raw food diet and why you keep failing. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. One of the biggest reasons people keep failing, and one of the biggest reasons the cravings don't go away, is most people have unrealistic expectations. They're just, I don't know, I talk to people a lot and I try to listen, I kind of try to feel people out, and I think everybody just thinks magic is just going to eventually happen, like one day they wake up. I've said from the time that I started this channel, it's, you can have all your programs, you can have all the things written down, you can have step by step by step, but you got to do it. You got to do the work. You got to work your way through the process. And I don't know, like I say, I can just tell by the language people use sometimes. Even it's not like a negative comment or remark to any video I do or stuff I do on Instagram, but I can tell just a little bit by the pushback, and the pushback is excuses. Anytime I hear an excuse, there are things that happen, but it's language, and it's how people say something, it's how they present it. Most anybody, I hear things all the time, and then I just like, okay, I'm not into arguing and stuff online, but I'm like, yeah, they're probably not going to make it because they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They're making excuses. They're not. Listen, everything that I've overcome in life or I've accomplished or figured out, it hasn't come from deluding myself and sticking my head in the sand. Some of the times that's why I'm a little bit rough around the edges with all this little mamby-pamby, let's all tiptoe around and be gentle and sensitive with ourselves. Sometimes I just need to look in the mirror and just tell myself what I need. And I just need to be real and say, look, dude, you're fooling yourself here with the way you're thinking. And there's a lot of people out there that are doing that with cravings and just this lifestyle in general. I mean, it's just kind of this revolving door of, okay, today I'm failing, then they're on a high, and it's because you keep introducing the drug back into your system. I've talked about this over and over and over and over and over. Doesn't matter whether it's food, it doesn't matter whether it's cigarettes with cigarettes and booze, then you actually get some pulls, some real physical addiction type stuff going. But for some people, but for others, it's just, you haven't committed to doing it yet. Because every time you put something back in your system that you're trying to get rid of, especially like the booze and the cigarettes and stuff, but even the food, and especially food that you crave, like, say somebody likes something salty, whether it be some treat or snack or whatever, every time, and you might go for a month, and I see so many people do that with things that they have trouble with, cravings. And they'll be like, well, I did really good. I haven't had any in 3 weeks. So I decided to give myself a little celebration or a little gift. And okay, now I'm going to celebrate by putting the offending thing back into my lifestyle. Look, I don't know how to do a whole lot of content that's all deep and next level, and we get into all this science, this and that. I like just simple common sense. You just do or do not, and you figure it out along the way. Now you can do a lot of it is just simply setting your mind, and it may be a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to tell you something. Don't make anybody laugh at you. That's always an uncomfortable situation. None of the stuff that you're talking about, if you're rational thinking, it's not going to kill you if you don't eat it. So you just don't eat it, even if you have to gut it out a little bit. Even if you're like, ooh, I really want to, maybe you normally eat nuts or you eat something salty or fatty while you're watching Netflix or whatever at night. Well, it just means a few nights of not a few, probably more than a few, but just gutting it out, and don't eat them. Simply don't eat them. That's number one. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Number two, what can help you not to do it? is to try to, even if it doesn't necessarily a copy of or emulate exactly what it is you're eating, try to kind of substitute things within sweet, salty, whatever. Like salty seems to be the one that gets a lot of people. People like these little treats, like or just little snacks and stuff. And I know a lot of people that will revert back to, say, chips or something. Usually they don't go all the way back, to eating animal products, but there's always something that trips somebody up out there. Have something ready for every occasion. It's about thinking ahead. It's about anticipating. It's about keeping things around the house. It's about, we'll go back to a number of the videos I've talked about on starting this lifestyle. What I always say, get the bad stuff out of your house and pack your house with the good stuff. That is always step number one right there, because most humans, or maybe I shouldn't say that, I'm lazy. I have lazy tendencies. I have lazy habits. And that's a big barrier right there. You got to get up and go get something. Okay, you get it out of your house. Okay, you got a car, you got a bike, maybe you live 3 doors down from a store where you can go get something, but it's not as easy as just walking into your kitchen or wherever, or pantry or whatever, and just grabbing something. So get the bad stuff out of the house. Substitute with good stuff. Like I say, if you have a problem with salty, crunchy, make something, get substitutes for that. If you don't have a dehydrator, which not a lot of people do, but they're good for making kale chips. Kale chips are great for that, but there's so many different things. I'm not going to list everything that can help with that, but celery, even like adding celery into into recipes and stuff, helps you get away from that salt shaker. But right here I'm talking about kind of like salty snacks and treats or whatever, but have something that you substitute for that. And another thing too, I wanted to say, like, you don't have to go, there's not pass or fail, all or nothing. Sometimes too, even if you're having one of those cravings for something that's really a craving of yours, you might even do better if you ate something then, to kind of just fill your hunger. Even if you ate something that's not optimal, eating something that's not optimal, as long as it's not horrible, is better than going back to that craving, because whatever that thing is something that is not something that is that thing that's focused in your mind. Cravings are mostly up here. They're not that physical, but partly they are physical, and once again, that goes back to when you keep reintroducing these foods to your system. Listen, I'm not trying to be difficult, and I know it probably seems like that, or seems like I'm just neglecting the question when people tell me, oh, I've been trying to do this for 2 or 3 years. I don't know what to tell somebody if they've been trying. Now, I'm not saying like, you may not be perfect 2 years into it, but when you're still going back and forth, yo-yo, you got to go see somebody else. I have a hard time being very encouraging there, because that's when I can become a little bit more stern and just be like, well, do, the Yoda thing, do or do not. But then I would still give the person, even if you've been struggling or trying to do things for 2 years, the same advice as I would give a beginner. And maybe that's even more important for you, is to take a step back and start over. Too many people get 2 or 3 years in, they are into their Facebook groups and they're networking with everybody else. And I think there's kind of an embarrassment factor, like, of stepping back, reevaluating how you're eating, getting a little education on this raw food diet, on a plant-based lifestyle, and moving forward from there. Like I say, this is a lifetime thing. This is not like a diet we want to do for 6 weeks and it's going to get everything boom and then we're going to go back. We're learning how to eat a new way. And we're in a lot of ways with these cravings, we're retraining our taste buds. And if you just keep the stuff off of your taste buds, it'll eventually go away. Now, this is not the best analogy, because I'm saying don't eat the thing you're craving, but I never really had a craving for nuts, but it's a good example for me to talk about, because as my palate has changed, as my taste buds have changed, I used to, and I didn't have a problem with nuts, but I liked them, so I would give myself a pass, say, I always made conscious decisions. I never just kept stuff around the house or said, oh my God, and I went off the rails tonight. As I was going down, as I've been doing this thing for years and years, there have been different levels, and back probably even 4 years ago when I was in ACA, there'd be those nights I'd want to eat some nuts. So I'd get a small package of almonds or a small package of pistachios. And that's all I would eat. And all I would get was enough of a bag to keep around the house to eat for that one time, not keeping it around the house. But as time went on and on and on, the taste buds change, and I find myself one day going like, damn, I can't even tell you the last time I've had almonds. I can't tell you the last time I've had pistachios. To this day, really, I use cashews. I'll use nuts occasionally in a recipe, but I haven't even done that in ages. So once again, that's just kind of an example of how if you kind of just keep the big picture, if you just kind of keep moving forward, if you keep eating fruits and vegetables, if you keep getting, your body does keep getting a little bit cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And before you know it, your taste buds have changed and you don't crave those things anymore. But it's not rocket science. Nobody's going to save you with some fancy book or plan or this or that. It's just a matter of keeping that stuff out of your system. And however you do that is probably personal to you based on your personality type and how things work for you. But just look for things out there, and you can use Google, you can use search functions, you can search on YouTube, and just look for things that are like raw food diet replacements for salty, raw food diet replacements for sweet. Now, if you got a problem with sweet, I don't see how that's possible. I'm eating ice cream all the time. I'm getting sweet almost all day, every day. But that's why you're failing, is because you just kind of keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get a different result. And it's not going to happen. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.